Meet Pedro. Pedro's currently hanging out on a farm in Chile, but scientists here in Australia have learned Pedro has a superpower. To explain what that is, we need to go back to the 90s. Horses were dying from an unknown virus that led to some really distressing scenes here in Brisbane.
They're thrashing around and bashing their heads into concrete walls and breaking their sides of their faces. If you looked out, you would have seen those horses being winched up in the air and then slung across the road and then dumped into the back of the open trucks.
Scientists called the virus the Hendra virus. It was carried by flying foxes and shed in their excrement and then contracted by horses in contaminated pastures, feed or water. And there have been 4 human fatalities to date.
That's what Hendra virus can do. It attacks all organs in the body and particularly has focus on the lungs and the brain. So the horses are actually dying because they can't breathe because their lungs are filling up full of fluids.
Scientists are now working on immunotherapies and vaccines for the virus family known as Henipavirus, which includes Hendra, and that's where our hero Pedro comes in.
Basically, we provided what we call the antigen, which is a vaccine essentially, and they immunised Pedro, and Pedro cells start making these wonderful, magical antibodies, which we call nanobodies, and from that we isolate a particular one, and then we're able to test that actually in animal models and show that that protects against infection.
It stops the protein from changing its form, and then the virus cannot enter the cell.
The next step's turning it into a human-ready vaccine.
We're all about being prepared. All we know is that this virus can transmit potentially from human to human. Vaccine or therapy will allow us to contain it and prevent widespread infections.